In her book, Forgiving What You Can't Forget, Lysa TerKeurst delves into the complexities of forgiveness and its crucial role in healing emotional wounds. Drawing on her personal experience, she emphasizes that true forgiveness is not a one-time act, but a continuous process. The central idea of the book is that forgiveness is a way to set yourself free from the emotional pain that lingers long after the hurt has occurred. By sharing her own journey through betrayal and pain, Lysa offers practical tools to help others navigate their own paths to emotional healing and freedom. The power of forgiveness. The book opens with an honest admission of the difficulty involved in forgiving someone who has deeply hurt you. TerKeurst does not sugarcoat the emotional turmoil that comes with such a decision. She addresses the common misconception that forgiveness means condoning bad behavior or forgetting the hurtful experience. Instead, forgiveness is framed as an act of reclaiming your own peace and emotional health. Forgiving someone who has caused you pain is often difficult because the wounds are deep and the scars are long-lasting. TerKeurst writes about how, after being betrayed by her husband, she felt lost and confused. She could not understand how she was supposed to move forward when the memories of her hurt were so fresh and overwhelming. The idea of forgiving what she couldn't forget felt impossible at first. But as she reflects on the journey, she reveals that forgiveness, though challenging, is necessary for healing and restoring a sense of wholeness. The anatomy of hurt. TerKeurst spends a significant portion of the book explaining the anatomy of emotional pain. She identifies the various ways people experience hurt and how that hurt manifests in their lives. Often, pain results from broken relationships, whether through betrayal, abandonment, or unfulfilled expectations. These pains are not just fleeting. They often linger and continue to impact every aspect of our lives, influencing how we relate to others and view ourselves. The book draws a distinction between the pain caused by others and the pain we inflict on ourselves through our unforgiving thoughts. Holding on to resentment can imprison us emotionally, keeping us trapped in the past and unable to move forward. TerKeurst offers insight into how the refusal to forgive perpetuates suffering. She argues that we are not letting go of the wrongdoer by holding on to our anger. Instead, we are allowing them to control our emotions and our future. The process of forgiveness. One of the key insights in the book is that forgiveness is not an immediate act of letting go of all the pain. Instead, it's a process that requires time and intentional effort. TerKeurst introduces a step-by-step process to guide readers through their forgiveness journey. Acknowledge the pain. The first step is to be honest about the hurt you have experienced. It's important to allow yourself to feel the pain and express it. This is not about wallowing in the hurt, but rather about confronting the reality of your emotions and the impact the situation has had on your life. Choose to forgive. Forgiveness is a conscious decision, and it must come from a place of choice, not obligation. TerKeurst emphasizes that forgiveness is an act of willpower. Even when the emotions don't align with the decision to forgive, choosing to release the grip of resentment is a crucial step. Release the need for justice. One of the hardest parts of forgiveness is letting go of the desire for revenge or justice. It's natural to want the person who hurt you to be held accountable, but TerKeurst teaches that seeking justice on our terms only keeps us bound to the situation. True healing comes when we let go of the need to see others pay for their actions and allow God or the universe to handle the justice. Embrace the freedom in forgiveness. The final step in the process is realizing that forgiveness brings freedom. When we forgive, we release ourselves from the chains of resentment and anger. It's about reclaiming your emotional well-being and choosing peace over perpetual pain. TerKeurst shares that forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean the relationship will return to what it was, but it allows us to be free from the emotional burden that the situation created, finding peace with painful memories. A significant part of the book deals with the fact that forgiveness doesn't erase memories. Lysa TerKeurst shares that there is a distinction between forgiving someone and forgetting the offense. While we may never forget the hurtful experience, we can choose to not let it have power over us. Moving on means not allowing the pain to define who we are or dictate how we live. The author challenges the reader to examine the difference between memory and emotional reaction. While we can't control the memories that come up, we do have control over how we respond to those memories. Choosing to not let the painful memories have a stronghold in our hearts allows us to move forward with less emotional baggage. Practical advice for difficult relationships. Throughout the book, TerKeurst provides practical advice for managing difficult relationships while practicing forgiveness. She explains that forgiveness does not always require reconciliation or returning to a relationship that is toxic or abusive. Sometimes the best way to forgive is to establish boundaries that protect your emotional health. Forgiveness in this case means releasing your bitterness and resentment without requiring the other person to change or admit their wrongs. The author also stresses the importance of self-compassion during the process. Forgiveness is not only about releasing others from their wrongs, but also about offering grace to ourselves for the pain we've experienced. Self-compassion allows us to heal in a way that is kind and nurturing rather than critical. Rebuilding trust. Rebuilding trust is another difficult aspect of forgiveness that TerKeurst addresses in the book. While forgiveness is necessary for healing, it does not always mean that trust is immediately restored. TerKeurst writes about how she struggled to trust her husband again after his betrayal, even though she had forgiven him. Rebuilding trust takes time, effort, and consistency. It's about proving through actions that the hurtful event will not be repeated. The process is gradual, and trust can only be rebuilt when both parties are committed to working through the pain. The role of faith in forgiveness. TerKeurst's Christian faith plays a significant role in her approach to forgiveness. She draws heavily on biblical teachings, particularly the principle of forgiveness as taught by Jesus Christ. In the book, TerKeurst emphasizes that forgiveness is not a suggestion, but a commandment. Jesus forgave us even when we were undeserving, and we are called to extend the same grace to others. The idea of forgiveness as an act of faith is central to the author's message, and it offers readers a spiritual perspective on how to navigate the emotional and psychological aspects of forgiveness. Moving forward, letting go of the past. In the final chapters of the book, TerKeurst explores the theme of letting go of the past. Forgiving what you can't forget means no longer allowing past hurts to control your future. TerKeurst discusses how to move forward in life, focusing on healing and creating a future that is beautiful despite past pain. She encourages readers to focus on what they can control in the present and to take responsibility for their emotional health. She concludes by reiterating that forgiveness is a process, not an event. It's an ongoing journey of healing, choosing peace, and letting go of resentment. The process is challenging, but ultimately it leads to freedom, healing, and a life that is no longer defined by pain. Conclusion. Forgiving. What You Can't Forget is a transformative book that offers both practical and spiritual guidance for those struggling to forgive painful experiences. Through her own personal journey and deep biblical insights, Lysa TerKeurst provides a blueprint for healing and emotional freedom. By teaching readers how to release the hold of past hurt and choose forgiveness, she offers a path to peace and a more beautiful life. Whether the offense is small or monumental, The process of forgiveness is essential for personal growth, emotional well-being, and spiritual peace. TerKeurst's wisdom and honesty make this book a powerful resource for anyone looking to heal from emotional wounds and find freedom through forgiveness.
If you want to buy this ebook, the link is in the description. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing summaries and tips.